ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Shield Hero. And I gotta say, they had us in the first half, not gonna lie, or in this episode until that last scene. I honestly thought they were just trying to rush it, end this arc as soon as possible, because the first two episodes have been kind of meh, if I'm being honest, and I thought they were just, hey, let's get through this, finish with the spirit. Tortoise, and from what I heard from the manga readers, I haven't read it myself, it seems this arc also is a bit on the boring side or bad side, however you wanna call it, in the source material. Now, I don't know, but I gotta say, the third episode has been much better compared to the first two, but they had me. I really thought they were just gonna end it as fast as possible, but also have some thoughts on it. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now it begins with them preparing. We have the tortoise on the move, and I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the CGI. The tortoise looks pretty bad, if I do say so myself, but besides that, was a pretty fun episode. We have even a messenger from Melty, one of the shadows, to go back and forth with the queen, and Naofumi to help with communication. I haven't really seen Melty quite a lot since season 2 started. Eclair, I also liked her this episode. She helped quite a lot. The important move that Naofumi did with the shield hero flag to boost morale, and also have his position now so they know to stay clear. Everybody got very inspired for that. From having that small thing can make a very big difference, especially on the battlefield. It might seem like a cliche, but it means quite a lot. They finally start fighting, trying to get close to the tortoise. Naofumi drawing away the familiars using his taunt move. The soldiers and everybody else was going after the tortoise to stop her. So it just rushing. Let's get to it. That's how this episode felt for the majority of it. Everybody doing their thing, skipping from one move to the next. They even got stopped a bit by other familiars, and I gotta say, I'm starting to like Ost more and more with each episode. We even see she's able to use gravity powers to give them enough time to fight against the bats. An incantation. It took quite a bit out of her, and this is why we're gonna talk a bit more about Ost towards the end of the episode. On the other side, with the tortoise, the troops, the soldiers, everybody was shooting at it, trying to catch it between the cliffs to stop its movement, and it definitely fought back. I like they showed and they mentioned quite a lot of time there were a lot of casualties, and the big chunk it took out of the cliffs with one of its legs. The other one was also fighting back Raftalia with her Yin Yang blade. I like that movie, since Raftalia has gotten much better. The old lady, she felt like a taijutsu user, just DBZ movements from one to the other. Philo with her tornades, but things were not looking that good against the tortoise. They weren't really able to stop it, at least at first. At first, they managed to take out one of its leg with quite a lot of effort, but apparently they lost like 50% casualties. And one of the commanders from the kingdom, the spirit commander, had a suicide move, sacrificing his life for the explosion to finally stop the tortoise. So it took a lot of resources, but more importantly, a lot of lives and sacrifices to stop the tortoise. And they still didn't really have an answer with how to cut its head down, now that they have it stopped at least temporarily. Now, like I said, it felt like just rushing instantly to get to this point. Probably like this could have been, I'm not saying it should have been, but it felt like 2 episodes of this just condensed in a few minutes at the beginning of this episode, just to get to this point. Even the big ace in their sleeves with Risha reading a record found by the queen and information with the tortoise. Apparently even Ost got affected by reading it. It seems that the tortoise is not that simple to stop, because once you stop it, it goes into range mode, and let's just say carnage ensues. Soldiers getting slaughtered with those spike things flying everywhere. The one that was controlling it was kind of putting it in overdrive to get as many souls as possible, even more than the tortoise needed or the defense mechanism needed. Don't really have a lot of information of who that dude with glasses is, what exactly he's trying to accomplish with the tortoise. Also, even the tortoise, is it actually sentient? Is it just a defense mechanism in the form of a tortoise? Quite a few questions. This is what happens when things are super rushed, and I don't know how important the tortoise is gonna be with the main story. Now we have Naofumi getting ready, saying telling the shadow to deliver a message to headquarters. Seems things were changing. Eclair, I like her, she's a very smart individual. She realized that it's better to get close to the tortoise. Seeing Naofumi what he was doing. That message was him telling the queen, I'm moving the plan to stage 2. Apparently to prepare the mages. While this was happening, communicating back and forth, people are dying left and right. From the soldiers getting slaughtered, destroyed, obliterated, impaled. They didn't fully show it, but they implied it quite a lot. So to say that a lot of people died there would be an understatement. It wasn't really fully shown, but at least they showed some of it while they were rushing to get through this spirit tortoise fight. Death and more death. Now, apparently the mages was for their last option, using a multiple, cast the same spell that the Pope used back in season 1 with judgment, for them to have a big cast time. And this is where, like I said, I'm starting to like Ost more and more, saying she's okay with it, realizing that if they defeat the tortoise, she will also die. But we'll talk a bit more about that. But before they could get close to the tortoise, there was this chimera, familiar amalgamation of some of them combined together. Naofumi called it parasites standing in their face. Host again trying to stop it, even the other soldiers coming in, trying to delay that familiar to give Naofumi enough time. Host was actually protecting the soldiers, doing a lot of things on the battlefield, basically fighting against her creator. They're finally able to cast the judgment spell, which wounded the tortoise, kind of opened a wound in its neck, quite big, but still gotta say that tortoise looks so bad. Honestly, just bad. The familiar, the chimera one looked better than the tortoise, the main monster. We have all of them doing combo attacks. Raftalia, Philo go in, kind of like that move between them, striking at it. Naofumi using his range shield, Ost boosting that shield to give it more power, actually making it bigger. Risha also casting shields, protecting them, going in again, striking at it, and they decapitate it. They actually do it, cut off its head, and I was like, that's it. That was the episode. This big tortoise monster, and they rushed with this episode just to get to this point, and I was like, okay, I understand that. Sure, they rushed just trying to get through this. Might not be the best arc of the story. I can be okay with that. Wasn't that bad. I like this rushed episode more than the previous two. Those ones were super meh, like I said. But after that they realized that once they succeeded would mean that Ost is also dead. And I gotta say, I like Philo quite a lot for her innocence while everybody was worried about Ost. Risha was even crying in half Philo. Hey Ost, Risha is crying. Talking to Ost, and Ost actually gives Risha a tissue. It was kind of obvious where they were going though, but I still like those moments quite a lot, and thank you Philo for that one. Now, what I wanted to happen at least was, I hope Ost is gonna survive. I was like, somehow she survived. That was my first assumption, even though they defeated the tortoise. But then we see, and it's revealed that Ost confirming, it seems that the tortoise is not defeated yet. So there seems to be a lot more to it on how to actually defeat it. Maybe it has some, or maybe they actually have to get to the guy controlling it. Probably gonna have him revealed, hopefully. But my biggest wish, besides them defeating the tortoise, which we know is gonna happen, the question is how. I hope that Ost survives. I kind of want Ost to join Naofumi's party. Starting to like her quite a lot more, especially after this episode. Her reactions, the way she's talking, how much she fought, protecting everybody. So hopefully she's gonna survive. Kind of seems like she's gonna survive. I think how Naofumi is willing to do anything and everything to protect the people he cares about. I'm starting to feel like he's slowly getting attached to Ost. Wait, would this mean what I thought about previous episodes when we first got introduced to Ost? Would she still be the personification of the spirit tortoise? Now that I think about it, when she read that material, that book with Risha, her memories came back in, realizing it. Is she out of the body of the tortoise? Okay. It hit me. Starting to lean back on my first thought I had back in that episode. Ost would definitely still be the personification of the spirit tortoise. Maybe that glasses dude, while he was trying to manipulate the spirit tortoise, got rid of its body, or Ost made another body for herself, or I'm throwing things at all, but I'm leaning towards Ost being the spirit tortoise. But we'll see. I'm kinda excited for next episode. The beginning has been rough, to say the least, for Shield Hero, even though this episode was mega rushed. Even if you know the source material or not, you can definitely tell it was rushed to get to this point, but I liked it more than the first two. Now, I'm curious what you guys thought about the episode. Are you okay with it being rushed, getting past this spirit tortoise thing? What are your thoughts on Ost? Would you like her to join the party? Let me know down in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Shield Hero. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.